Give to me all your vampire books. I love vampire books, so I will read any vampire book that I come across for the most part. And maybe to give you a little bit of an idea, most recently I read Coffin Moon by Keith Rawson, Our Own Unique Affliction by Scott J. Moses, and then over the years I have read Twilight and The Vampire Diaries and the Black Dagger Brotherhood books, which is basically vampire porn, and I read a lot of those books. So I like some good vampire books. I also like the smut, and I like them all. So today we're going to talk about the book Hollow by Celina Myers, which when I picked this book up, I saw on the cover, it looks like a vampire book. And then I saw that it said TikTok sensation. And I thought it meant the book. I thought the book was the TikTok sensation. I didn't know that Celina Myers is a TikTok sensation. Well, she is. And I'm always a little leery about this stuff, but like I said, I love vampire books, so give it to me. So the book starts out, and you're in 1725. There is these people who live in this village of Black Creek, and it's been a weird year. It's been really hot. This year, a lot of their crops had died. Their priest went insane and was yelling about end times and screaming vulgarities, and then he died. And after that, like, the heat finally broke, but like at this point in time, like, crops are sparse. They don't know that they're gonna have enough food to feed everyone in the village. And then a stranger comes to town, a stranger named Gregor. Then I was like, Gregor, and all I could think of was the show What We Do in the Shadows, vampire show. If you haven't seen it, it's hilarious. It's kind of awesome. He comes to town and he's like, hey, there's this village that's down the way. It's about 13 days from here. They have plenty of food. They were able to like not be affected by all this stuff. So they're like, oh, should we trust this guy? This, that, and the other. And stuff isn't looking so good for the village. And you also have these two other characters who are kind of like the focus of the story, Eli and Eleonora, when they're growing up, how they have ridiculous crushes on each other. And then they don't ever talk until finally Eli's Aunt Aggie is like, hey, and like pushes them together to start having a conversation because they were just being dumb. She's like, you're never going to talk if I don't put you guys together and make you do it. So Eli, Eleonora talk to each other. So then, after that, they fall in love, they get married. Okay, so this Gregor guy leaves and they're like, we have to discuss with the village if we want to do this, and stuff's looking dire. So they're like, okay, yeah, we're going to try to go and find this village. What was weird to me here is that the whole village packs up and leaves. And I'm like, why would you not send a scouting party to see if this was actual truth? And it's a bad time of year to travel. Apparently it was getting closer to like winter and whatnot. That I thought was maybe like a little weird, that they would just be like, okay, we're just going to trust this guy that said this and we're all going to go, instead of sending like a few people, like your strongest men or whatever, to scout ahead and then, have them come back and then get everyone and make sure it's okay. That didn't seem like the best idea, but who am I to judge? I don't know. Desperate times, desperate measures, needs must when the devil drives and all that stuff. So, okay. So they all head out and then they start getting sick. And they all start dying off. And it turns out that Gregor may have passed this on to them and infected them, and they have the plague. Everybody dies, basically, and then Eli and Eleonora are the last ones left. Eli becomes sick, and then Eleonora, she doesn't want to live without him. She's going to jump off a dang cliff. But she's stopped, and there's this older woman who stops her, and she's like, you're going to jump down, and my house is down there. I don't really want your body down there. They think of me, I can heal you, come with me. And so she gives her this concoction in a cup to heal her. And she's like, I can also heal your guy. She's a witch. Eleanor drinks it. It's kind of dim in the house. Doesn't really know what it is. It tastes kind of coppery, irony, weird. She doesn't think much about it. And then they go to where Eli is and they get him to drink the stuff. And then the son of this woman, Thea is her name, what's his name? Like Andrew, stabs Eli in the heart. And she's like, Eleanor's like, what the F? And then he stabs her. And then she, whatever, falls over. And then he says, welcome to the family. They're going to be vampires. That's how they're going to be healed from this. Fast forward to present day and time. And we have our main character, Mia. And Mia has always seen ghosts and dead people. She works in a bookstore, and her mom is like this world-renowned, famous psychologist, but she also specializes in like parapsychology, which is her passion. So she's into like the weird paranormal stuff. And case Study 37 was actually her daughter. She never really named her or said anything, but like since her daughter saw spirits and dead people, this was really fascinating to her, this, that, and the other. But as Mia got older, she kind of outgrew that and that went away. Eventually, there's like this weird girl that keeps coming into her bookstore. She has blue hair and her name is Cordelia. And so at first she never says anything. Like she'll buy stuff here and there. And then also Mia notices there's other people that come in that are like new, that seem like they're from out of town, and they never buy anything. Eventually, like Cordelia says some stuff to her and it's like really weird. Like, what would you do if all of this just ended tomorrow? And she's like, what? And then Cordelia's like, oh, never mind. So that's weird. And then eventually Mia, she is, I forget where she was coming from or going to or whatever she was doing. She's driving one night and she was probably coming home from work and conditions outside aren't the best. And then her dang dog runs across the road and she swerves to avoid hitting it and she hits a tree and then she dies. But then she's brought back and she becomes part of this vampire world. And okay, so would I say this book is amazing? No. But it's good, it's fun, it's addictive read, it's a page turner. I like the characters. I thought it was fun. There were a few things that I was like, I don't know. So a few things felt a bit rushed, but overall, it's a fun story. And I would definitely read another book by this author. I think where it left off at the end, there could definitely be a sequel, and I kind of hope there is. So you get more in the story. Mia's turned. She doesn't believe it at first. There's these two different families, the Suttons and the Bellamys. She has to make a choice which family she wants to join. And the current matriarch, Thea, like her powers are starting to dwindle. And she's the one who kind of holds it all together. And the reason there's two families is because, well, Eli and Eleonora were in love for many, many years. But eventually, like, they split apart. So their true love dwindled. Something happened. They eventually weren't together anymore. And so then you meet each side of the vampire family. You get to know them. She's going to have to choose which side she wants to be on and all this stuff. And so you have like that history backstory. You have the main story with Mia and the rest of the vampires. And I thought it was a lot of fun. If any of that sounds good to you, maybe give it a whirl. Also, if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.